After a long holiday break, I am Timothy Cyphers, and I'm back here with the Heat Index with longtime Bayou City Heat ball player L. Darnell Williams. Darnell, thank you so much for taking the time. How's it going?
Oh, everything's going great, Tim. Thanks for having me.
How are your holidays, and even more importantly, how was your birthday?
Hey, it was a great holiday season. I'm another year older, and I have to, thank God for that, and I appreciate that because life is good.
That's awesome. It was cool because I just joined the team, and last year was my first tournament with you guys, and you had such a motivating factor for me, and I sense that like other team members feel the same way. Where does that come from? That leadership and that overall positive attitude and outlook about playing ball on and off of the field.
Well, I'm a person who really enjoy sharing value with others and really uplifting other people to help them to recognize all the gifts that they have. And I've been blessed with so many tremendous gifts. And one of them is the desire, the willingness, and just the whole idea of helping other people to achieve a significant goal. And winning a championship is a significant goal. And I appreciate being on a team where I'm able to share some of that value.
So it's more of a character trait than just a leadership on the field type of thing. It's something that you like to do in your everyday life.
Oh, yes, indeed. Every day I'm out there trying to build life winners. I have a company called Magnet Ideas, and my whole objective when I speak with anyone is to co-create with them to help them to achieve a significant goal. And it comes down to helping them to have a mind shift in the positive direction, and more importantly, learn how to get rid of three main nemesis that people hold on to, and if they can get rid of them, and those are worry, fear, and doubt. And by doing that, along with focusing on what they're trying to achieve, I enjoy each and every day just helping people to feel good about themselves and help them reach for all the gifts that we've been blessed with.
Wow, man, it's funny because I kind of got up here in a little bit of a scurry and it was a little bit of a mess this morning, and then I remember I got to do this interview, and then you tell me worry, doubt, and fear. Is that what those three nemesis is?
Oh yeah. If you get rid of worry, doubt, and fear, get them out. That's my whole mantra these days. Worry, fear, and doubt, get them out.
So it's just funny because I need that in my life. You know what I mean? So this isn't lip service. I'll be talking to you after the interview about some stuff we can do about my mindset because it's better than it's ever been, but it's still got a long way to go. So tell me about what makes you so passionate about health. I mean, is it something that happened in your life? Is it just the way you grew up? I mean, what makes you so passionate about helping others?
Well, as I grew up, I always wanted to work hard. I lost my sight when I was about 9. And at that point in time, I knew I was going to lose my sight because it was gradually deteriorating. Mm-hmm. And it led me to adopt a trait of realizing that, hey, I'm going to be totally blind the rest of my life. And early on, I realized that if I paid attention to what everyone else was doing and saying that they saw, I could create a picture from within that would help me to get along and be able to do everything in life. And that kind of just led me throughout life to know that, hey, by staying focused on what everybody else is saying and creating that picture and raising my overall awareness level, I could put myself in a position to be able to just do more as a person. And that led me to get a great education and stay focused in school. And education is very important, especially if you have a disability, because then it allows you to see if you measure up with everyone else. I mean, if you can gain the same education that everyone else has, it just gives you a better footing in the world. And by doing that, I knew all the time that I really wanted to help other people, some kind of way. And, all the jobs that I have had in my life has been focused on being able to develop my skills, talents, and abilities in an effort to position myself to share that knowledge with others, to help them to grow their skills, talents, and abilities.
So we have a lot of veteran leadership. You being one of those veterans, and the Bam Bams, Seth Clark, the Darryl Miners. You all bring something uniquely individual, but I could say the one thing that is universal among those of you that are veterans are the leadership qualities you have. Can I talk about one of the things that really impressed me about meeting you and being on your team, which was last year, West Palm Beach. We have a team meeting, and you prepared this presentation for us, for lack of a better word. Can you touch on what that was, because or is it confidential? Is that something we don't want to talk about?
Oh no, we can always talk about anything that I do. As I mentioned to you, I'm always interested in getting people to raise their awareness level. And that presentation I gave to the Heat was totally based on raising people's awareness level. And a lot of times I use acronyms to not only lock into my mind mentally and keep me focused on the presentation, but at the same time it allows me to do it in a succinct way. And in that particular presentation, I used awareness, where I took the words of awareness, the letters of awareness, and quickly that was availability, willingness, acceptance, responsibility, now, energy, source, and all that leads to success. And again, it allowed me to put together a little short presentation. It was about 8 or 9 minutes that would give people just that little edge of knowing that if they grasp that, even in their everyday life, approach that life from an awareness standpoint, they will be able to be more focused at what they're doing and kind of stay locked in and put them into an action mode.
Yes, you not only read that, explained it to us, but you also gave us each a little sort of an index card where you took the time to do the poking and prodding, right, of writing in Braille.
The Braille, yeah, I had it in Braille and print because, again, a lot of times you want to leave people with something that allows them to mentally connect to it. It connects them to what they heard. Because a lot of times people don't grasp everything that they hear in the moment. So by being able to provide people kind of like a souvenir, so to speak, it gave them a chance to, hey, if they looked at it, they could see, oh, this is awareness, and apply it to themselves. And just like I had even also created a song on behalf of the Heat at that time because, again, it's all a connector. By being able to provide an audible sound, which was the song was, it was an audible connection to the presentation. See, so everything always stems from giving a person or a group or what have you an opportunity to always be able to mentally think about what they heard and have those connectors so that they can experience or develop or position themselves to have a mind shift whenever they want to.
Wow. So I will say that I don't read Braille. I tried shortly after my vision loss, and I gave up on it because that's just kind of been my style growing up, and I'm getting out of that, and it's something I haven't ruled out. However, my point is, I have that card, and I'll never forget that moment because for me it was like this culture, man, this veteran leadership and this mixture of veteran leadership and this mixture of youth and the culture. I've experienced it in another team, and it was great there too. But this is unique, and it's always going to be unique to a program. And It was just cool. It was my way of like really feeling like I'm here. I want to be here because it for me it was a lot about faith, whether it's faith in God or faith in yourself or faith in the unit. I don't know, that's individual, but that's what it stemmed from for me. It was like faith, and for me it was in God and in myself and my teammates. But oh man, it was just
exactly. It was yeah.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. Thanks, I appreciate that because, like you say, it's all about us being able to get so familiar with ourselves that we even are able to realize that we also have a connection to Source. I mean, Source could be whoever you call it. It could be Jesus, God, Buddha, whatever. But being able to have that understanding and know that Source is always there with you and always available for you to go to and draw upon to get through life on a daily basis. Just knowing that that Source is there with you kind of gives you an edge once you recognize that you have that element.
For me, I can't do it alone. Whether that's with people on the earth or the universe or God, I mean, it's just not something I can't do this every day-to-day stuff. Can't play beat baseball. I can't do it alone. So it's just amazing that you Source, man. That's the one I'm going to focus on when I'm going to go check out that academic because I really digged it, man. It was really, really cool. We're gonna take a step back for a second, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some beat baseball stuff, your history, and the Heat and their impact on you. And we're gonna be right back after this. Beat baseball player, life winner, and published author L. Darnell Williams has created MyMagnetIdeas.com, where the objective is to help entrepreneurs see, explore, and master their potential so that they can achieve life goals, using real vision to create life winners at MyMagnetIdeas.com. Welcome back. This is the Heat Index. I'm being joined by L. Darnell Williams, one of my veteran teammates, one of my friends, one of the coolest, most inspirational guys I've ever met, motivational and just the works, man. He's just a good guy. L. Darnell, you live in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Did you grow up there?
Oh yeah, I've been in Chicago my whole life, and I really enjoy it because in Chicago I'm able to move around independently at any moment and get to any address, and that's kind of like a big one. I would say one of the biggest keys that I have, the ability to be able to go anywhere at any time. Because again, I don't know if you know this, but you got half the people beat if you're able to show up at an event or wherever it is, and that gives you an edge, just knowing that you can get there. Plus I don't have to depend on people or my ride or give me a ride and all that. So being able to, if someone gives me an address and says, hey, I need you to be here, I can do that. And it's helped me tremendously to do many, many jobs throughout life because of that ability to be able to show up. So that's why I kind of like Chicago, because it's laid out in a grid, in a very simple grid, so that traveling is kind of like very, like I said, simple, I guess would be the best word. It's very simple to get around.
I have a big smile on my face. I love that quote. I'm going to remember that for a long time. Is you get half the people beat if you just make it there.
Yep, if you can show up. Because you got
goodness.
a certain percentage of the people that won't even go because they can't get a ride or they didn't feel like it or they felt tired today, whatever excuse people come up with. So
right, because I didn't take it as a blind thing. I took it as a if I show up today, just show up for today, I'm gonna have half the people beat, and that is awesome. I love that. I didn't expect that. So I don't know. I mean, how long have you been playing beat baseball, and how were you introduced to the sport?
Actually, I learned about beat baseball back in 1985, but I really wasn't aware that it was a sport that had been expanded to the point that people were playing on a regular basis. When I first heard about beat baseball, it was in 1972. I was a young kid, about 12 years old, and we used to go to this field out at Western Electric in a suburb of Chicago. And, of course, we would throw the ball around and we would hit it off of a tee. And it was the telephone pioneers. I guess they were really first trying to see how blind people would react to the ball. I remember when they would hit the ball off of a tee out to us as fielders, if the ball was in the air, one of the Lions would actually knock it down so we can get it, because they didn't want us to get hit by the ball. They were so afraid even at that time. So in 85, when I learned about the sport and realized that it was organized and being played, I began to look for a team, and I joined the Chicago Bluff in 1987. And I've essentially been playing the game ever since.
Hang on.
31 years ago.
Hang on. The Chicago what?
Bluff.
Bluff, like
BLUFFS. Yep.
Okay. I take it they're not in existence anymore.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 31 years of playing beat baseball. Holy moly! And so how long were you with that program?
Okay, I was with the Chicago Bluff it was kind of on and off, because I was with the Bluff from 1987 through 1992, when I actually left the Bluff to join a newly started team, which is Chicago Cobras, that was in existence for like 3 years. Then I went back to the Bluff in 1994 after playing 2 years with the Cobras. I went back to the Chicago Bluff. And then the Bluff disbanded in 1996. Okay.
Now,
but after 1994, I actually started a team myself in 1995. It was called, because I had an organization I had set up called the Visually Impaired Athletic Association, and we actually started a team called the VIA, which is VIAA Fast Start Comet. And that team was in existence for 1 year, and then, of course, negativity reared its ugly head, and people wanted to sabotage it, and, of course, they did. So we had a great year. The team, we were able to put together a team and take them to a tournament. And I think the whole focus for that VIA Fast Start Comet was to take a team to the World Series. But what we had expressed to the players that year is that we wanted them to be so focused on playing beat baseball. The Visually Impaired Athletic Association said what we would do is we would eliminate any other outside concerns that people would have. So what we did is we brought the team to the tournament. We flew them there. We housed them. And, we gave everybody a per diem of $100. We actually distributed it $20 a day for the 5 days once the game started. And I don't know. It's something about that maybe we had too much success too soon, because the team actually won what they used to have, the Consolation Championship that year. The team actually won a championship, which was kind of interesting because as they do it now, they didn't have the brackets like they do now. After the first Tuesday, after you played those 3 games, they broke it up into 2 brackets, and you had the championship bracket, I guess they called it, and the consolation bracket, which to me, you're still playing beat baseball, you're playing competitively. To me, that was a championship because there was a first-year team, and they had the opportunity to play beat ball at a high level and actually win. And even at that time, the consolation team actually used to get the same recognition as the championship team. The consolation team did, because they got a trophy and they got individual medals and they got to go up there as a team and get their picture taken. See, so to me, it had all the feelings of a championship team. And actually, for a first-year team, we felt great. And, of course, those accomplishments at that tournament, nobody could ever take that away from that team. That team did achieved that, and it's in the record books, and it was a great thing.
Are any of the visually impaired athletes that were playing on that team now then playing now, or no?
Actually, very few of them, because what we did was we drew from the Chicago Public School. We had 3 or 4 athletes from there, and then we, of course, had to go to the free agent market in the baseball world, and we picked up a few players, and then we brought a couple of players in from that might still be playing. Sherlock Washington out of New Jersey. I think we brought him in. That was his first time ever playing the game. Another guy named Omni Romero, we gave him his first chance to play the game. These guys had never played before then. See, so it was all about really bringing people in, and since those guys had never played, we welcomed them with open arms and gave them an opportunity to be introduced to the game, and along with some other free agents that we picked up. But as I look back, I believe Omni and Sherlock are still playing, if I'm not mistaken. And I can't think of anybody else that was on that team that is still playing today.
Except for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm still out there trying to, figure out how to win on the championship side of the winning.
I hear you. Tell me, all right, so take me from, the Via to, did you go back, you said you went back to the Bluffs or no?
Yeah, went back to the Bluffs. And then, like I said, I played the game. No, actually what happened is I actually took a break from beat ball for a few years because they sabotaged the team. I don't even want to say the person's name, but what he did was there was one guy on our team from Atlanta. And, we had brought me. He was a part of the team, but all the players and everybody came from Chicago. The only outsiders was that Sherlock and Omni. And I guess I could say his name. His name was Joe Wood. He was from Atlanta. Even when we got to the tournament in 1995, he was the PR person for the NBBA, and he announced our team as the Via Fast Star Comet from Atlanta and other cities. And I thought that was so ridiculous because as we put together this team, all the actual players practiced in Chicago 2 times a week in 100-degree temperatures, because that was back in the day when the temperature would get up to over 100 in Chicago and really be scalding. And we brought those people there, and this guy, but he really wanted to have the team be his. So what happened was he started talking behind my back and really sabotaged the team. And what they did was they came back in 1998, and that's when the Chicago Comet was created. But, of course, I was never invited to be a part of it because, again, it was people like Joe that wanted to have a team for themselves, and they really, I guess, in a lot of people's mind, felt that the Via Fast Star Comet had too much success too soon, and they had to kill it. And, of course, they did. So I took some time off, and I came back, and I started playing with several other different teams outside the city. I mean, of course, I wasn't invited to be with the Chicago Comets. So I played with Oklahoma. I played with Denver. I played with Oklahoma a couple of years. I even played against the Bayou City Heat when they won the championship in 2002. And I was with Oklahoma at that time. And it was exciting, though, because I got a chance to be in the championship round. And I look at it, I've been in the championship game several times. I played in the championship game in 1988 with the Bluffs. In 90, with the Bluff, we lost to the Eagles from Indianapolis. In 92, I was there with the Cobras in the championship game. And then also 94 with the Chicago Bluffs. We were back in the championship game. But none of those teams ever won. And then in 2002 with the Oklahoma City Bombers.
Okay.
So I've been in the championship. I played on Championship Saturday quite a few times. And so I know what it's like to get there, and I know what it feels like. Just don't know what it feels like to win it. And of course, after playing with several different teams, I actually rejoined. Not rejoined, but I asked, I said, got rid of all the angst and whatever, and I became a member of the Chicago Comets in 2006, and I played with them for 6 years, and it was exciting being able to play beat ball again and play at a high level. I did whatever the team asked me to do, contributed on and off the field, but for whatever reason, pardon me?
There's something to be said about playing for your hometown team, too.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting being able to do that, especially after playing with several other teams. But I guess, maybe I wore out my welcome in Chicago because even though I actually did absolutely everything they asked me to do on and off the field, from fundraising to playing at a high level, but evidently my confidence and enthusiasm to win, a lot of people didn't take too well to that. So in 2011, I left and I came over to the Bayou City Heat, and I've been with the Bayou City Heat ever since then. And what the Heat offered to me was a team that appreciated me as a person and not really, be taken aback by whatever there was going on with the Chicago Comets. I really enjoyed playing with the team in Chicago, and I felt that I was a big-time contributor, but something got lost in the shuffle. So I wound up with the Heat, and I've been with the Heat. This will be my 7th year with the Heat coming up here in 2018.
Wow. Couple of things. I know not as well as you do, but I know what it's like to get to Saturday. 2016, lost to we got me and the Renegades and I got stomped by the Indy Thunder, right?
Oh, wow, okay. Uh-huh.
and then the other thing is, I know what it's like to feel like you've put your heart and soul into something and then still have it not go or end the way you'd like. And all I can say is I'm where I am now, and you're where you are now. I think we're happy.
Absolutely.
I can't speak for you, but I know
I'm happy. I hope you can hear the enthusiasm in my voice because, being with the allowed me to really feel like I'm a part of the team, and everybody enjoy you. There's no animosity, there's no backbiting, and all that kind of thing. That was actually a part of the Chicago Comets. It was unfortunate, but again, once you realize a team is not considering playing at a high level, that's what makes you want to move on because they've made it clear, at least from my standpoint, mentally, that, hey, this team is not really interested in playing at a high level. And they didn't make me feel like I was a part of the team. So I was in search of a group of people that was going to make me feel like I was a part of a team that appreciated my skills, talents, and abilities and the efforts that I was willing to contribute to the team. And that we could, feel good about each other and, have good times and really experience some real good competitive beat ball and a chance to win.
I know. I'm not to be sappy, but I'm going to be savvy. I've had a smile. I've had a smile from ear to ear 3 or 4 different times in this interview already. So that's because and when that happens, it's because I agree and I can feel it, and I've in a brief time gotten to experience that, and with Bayou City, you do feel a part of right away. I can speak to that because it's fresh for me.
Yeah.
Or like JC, for example. When I joined the team last year, before I even meeting you guys in person, he's just like, hey, we're going to have a conference call, for example. This is an example. And, we'd like you on that call. And, hey, he just stressed, you are just as much a part of this team as anyone else. I'm like, I haven't even stepped foot on the field yet. It doesn't matter. You say, we come to an agreement that you're a Bayou City Heat. Your vote counts. Your voice matters. And that type of thing, and it's just like, holy smokes, man, like that, and because not only did he say it, but he backed it up, and so did you guys, and it's just, an unbelievable experience, man. I'm so excited for this season coming up. Before we get to the Bi-City Heat stuff, tell me about, like, what is your biggest accomplishment, or maybe not biggest accomplishment, but what do you value most as far as your playing career goes? Because it's lengthy and there's probably a bunch. So if you want to touch on more than one, by all means.
I would say the ultimate was having the opportunity to put together the VFast.com. It was the idea to let me know that, yes, we could create a team. Yes, we could create a team that was competitive. And actually that particular year, and that's what's so exciting to me about that year, is that I had an opportunity to play at probably my highest level, because in that particular tournament, I happened to be one hit away from being the MVP on both sides of the ball. And I thought that was exciting because I won the defensive MVP, and Ernest Cook Jr. actually hit 681 at that tournament, and I remember hitting 667. I was 26 for 39. Ooh. And if I would have got one more hit, I would have been hitting a 683, and I would have won the MVP. But that's how it goes. But at the same time, again, it was something that happened, and I really thank God because he allowed me to experience those things. And, of course, we don't know, but God knew what was going to come up after that, and he allowed a lot of things be able to go into the record books that nobody could ever take away.
Oh, my goodness. That is cool. I mean, so.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I can't imagine being one hit away and still, but I mean, yeah, you've had time to reflect on it, and I bet you were really, I don't know about upset, but frustrated for a while, and then now you have an outlook where you're like, I was one hit away. So I mean, you were an all-star and an MVP on both sides.
Well, it wasn't even a frustration part of it, because while it's happening, you don't know that. I mean, if you're playing at a high level, you're not even thinking of the numbers. You don't really know that until you sit down at the banquet, right, and they start to say those things, and then you're able to backtrack and say, wow, man, I was one hit away. And the excitement is still there, and at the time the excitement was tremendous because I knew what I had done for a lot of other blind athletes, giving them an opportunity to play the game, giving them a chance to experience being able to go to the tournament. They didn't have to, spend any money. And that's why we had a chance to win a championship, because nobody had to concern themselves with anything outside of playing at a high level. And that's kind of what I was hoping would happen. And it did happen. See, so that's one of those things that you shoot for something to happen in life, and it does unfold that way. And it gives you a good feeling, and a good feeling that you can carry on to other aspects of life.
Man, that's a really selfless outlook, is how I would describe that. If there's one thing that is yet to be accomplished by Al Darnell in the sport of beat baseball, what would that be?
It would be to be on the championship team, be able to win it all, and of course, I'm getting to the age where once I get to the point where I realize that I'm not making a contribution, I'll stop playing the game. But I do feel that I can continue to be in a position. I'm in excellent health, and I believe I can contribute. But once I believe I can't contribute, then I'll move on. And, hey, it's a lot of great athletes that never won a championship. That doesn't mean they weren't great athletes. So at the end of the day, winning a championship will be the greatest thing.
You bet. You just mentioned, you just talked about your longevity, basically, and I had no idea. I didn't know your age until this interview, and you didn't say it, but I did the math based on some of your comments. I would have never guessed that, because you are at a premium conditioning level, I would say. You're still you move around just like me, and I'm, looks like 30 years your junior, so. That's impressive. What's been the key to that? Like, I mean, are you doing the Tom Brady TB12 method or something? Like, what's going on?
No, I essentially just, again, what has helped me is utilizing a lot of the things that I share, with my clients about winning in life, and that is being able to create their real vision and think from within. And I carry around a mental picture as to how I want to feel and be on a daily basis. No, I don't want to be in any pain. I don't want to take a lot of medicine. Therefore, at this point in time, and I'll say my age, I'm 58, but I don't take any medicine or any medications. I have used vitamins on a daily basis. At some points, I use supplements, especially when I'm at the tournament. I might add ginseng to my daily regimen, or sometimes there's this one product called Lumi Day. I usually take that because it's kind of like helps you to control your mood so that you don't get emotionally caught up in the game. A lot of times emotions take over, and it causes them to lose focus. So being able to know my body and take supplements and stay at a good weight level, I feel good. And as long as I feel good, I'll continue to play the game. And I've been able to feel that way my whole life. And that's a big part of being able to achieve goals, is knowing yourself in such a way that you take care of yourself mentally, physically, and, of course, spiritually.
That's threefold, man. That's how you stay spiritually fit as well as physically fit. I like that.
Yep.
We're gonna take one more quick break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the Bayou City Heat. I'm gonna ask you, a hosh-posh of a few other questions, just so we are talking on a personal level. This is the Heat Index. This is L. Darnell Williams. I'm Timothy Severs. We'll be right back. If you're interested in winning at life, check out the ebook, Real Vision, Your Blueprint to Winning in Life by L. Darnell Williams. In this ebook, we are sharing with the reader an opportunity to build their life the way they want it. By developing and controlling their mind by using real vision, they can become a life winner by simply recognizing and realizing they can build their own life blueprint. As each reader discovers, explores, and masters their own real vision, they will see clearly how their mind works and how they can create a mind shift at will to become a life winner. Real Vision, Your Blueprint to Winning in Life by L. Darnell Williams can be found on Amazon.com. All right, we're back for our final segment with L. Darnell Williams. This is the Heat Index. This is episode 6. L. Darnell is one of my teammates from the Bayou City Heat. He is a really, really cool dude. He's been very patient with me because this has taken a few weeks of some technical errors. And, after the holidays and stuff, he's just worked with me. L. Darnell, thanks for taking the time and doing this, man. This has been a great interview.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, you've seen the Bayou City Heat as a competitor, as an opposing competitor, and you've also had, a lengthy time with the Heat now. What needs to happen in order for us, because I can say us now, what needs to happen for us to take it to the next level and be playing on Saturday?
Okay, I believe that if the Heat were able to pretty much look at the team mix, the players that we have, and be able to play them in such a way that once we get to the end of the week, Thursday, and of course Friday of the tournament, that everybody is still ready and focused and able to play at a high level. And a lot of times that comes from spreading out the playing time, maybe not playing everybody a lot of innings earlier in the week, because you could save them for those innings later in the week. And that will give them a little bit more energy to be able to get on lockdown when it's time to go and play the game on Thursday and Friday. Of course, you must win on Thursday. And if you're able to win your games on Thursday, you're able to go into Friday, and especially if you're going into Friday with no losses, that's what the Heat needs to get to the point that they're able to do. And, of course, if you can go into Friday and you have no losses, it assures you a great, great opportunity to play on Saturday. So if I had to pick out one thing the Heat needs to do is to have the players available, willing, and ready to go on Friday with no losses, they will be assured to play on Saturday.
So it sounds like conditioning and strategy as far as
a strategy of playing players. Of course, on the Tuesday games, when you really think about it, it's not imperative that you win all those games, but generally you're playing lower echelon teams. This year it'll be a little bit different because, unfortunately, last year, just by losing 2 games, we finished 7th, which means that now for the first year since I've been with the Heat, we're not in the top 4. So that ought to make a difference. And who knows, maybe it'll make a difference schedule-wise that we're able to get our homework done going into Thursday, that we're able to win games and be able to go into Friday and position ourselves to play on Saturday. But it does boil down to being able to get through Tuesday and, of course, Wednesday, which generally there's only one game on Wednesday, where there's nobody hurt, but everybody is still playing at a high energetic level to position themselves to win. And don't forget SOA.
So tell me about the impact of our volunteers, and you know, past and present, because I think the sport in general is just so immensely lucky and blessed to have so many sighted and volunteers to help us, coaches.
I think, I mean, with the Heat, we've always had excellent volunteers, you know, from your JCs, because they play a tremendous role. Fonzie's an excellent pitcher. And our spotters, I believe last year we had Janet and Ashley, and Ashley's probably one of the best spotters that I've worked with since I've been in the league. Yeah, and I've worked with a lot of different spotters. But from a player standpoint, when I'm playing on her side of the field, the quickness of the number gives me such a tremendous jump on the ball. And it's a great feeling playing in front of her because she gets the number out quick, which even if the number's wrong, if you're focused as a player, you can make the correction very easily if the number comes out very quick. See, so that Janet, she's pretty good, and I've worked with Janet on a couple of different teams. She was my spotter in Oklahoma and of course, with the Heat, and she's a good spotter, being able to get the number out fast. And she's relatively quick at getting the number out fast, but I can't think of too many that get the number out faster than Ashley does.
Wow, and she's young as far as her career in the league, so that's really cool. And I'll tell you what, this was my 4th season in the league, and I was on Janet's side, but both Janet and Ashley were on the field for my first ever defensive putout. So I'll never forget that, and I'm gonna beat that. I'm gonna beat that horse until it's dead, man, because it's great. It was a long time coming. Speaking of first, what was like your first moment? Now we're going back a little ways here, and I'm not trying to troll or anything. I'm just being real. Give me one of your first moments, whether it was offensively, defensively, team-wise, that just made you realize I'm here, I've arrived, this is what I want to be doing.
I guess what you mean, arrived at playing the game, or?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, you know, a milestone or just a first hit, that type of thing, because my first put out last year was just so different than anything else I'd felt, so something along those lines.
Actually, I really can't remember my first hit or my first put out, but I guess the first time I made an all-tournament team, it was at the World Series, and it was 1991. And, man, I had a great year that year. I hit, like, Yeah, 780.
Jeez.
And of course, I came in second that year, man, because somebody hit 791. But
God.
it was great because it made me realize that I could hit the ball and hit it a long way and get to the bases. And of course, back that time, the bases were only 90 feet away,
Right.
not 100 feet. See, so getting to the base was, you get there a lot quicker and a lot easier. And I guess another deal with the B-ball is I've had quite a bit of success of hitting off of pretty much every pitcher that I've had a chance to bat off of, and there's been several. And that's what made me realize that, man, I love this game. And to me, if a pitcher is on your team and he's pitching to you and you're trying to hit, you should have success hitting. I'm almost like in a state of shock whenever I strike out because it's kind of like, hey, we're supposed to be trying to do the same thing. Let's get it done. But,
right.
It does happen. But the consistency that I've had over my career has really, I've been very appreciative of that, of knowing that I'm able to put the bat on the ball. And that's something that I'll really enjoy as long as I live.
One league question. A two-part league question. The change, since you've been in the league, the change that has made the biggest impact and the change that you wish could be reversed. Does that make sense? Like, which change has been the most positive and which change do you think didn't need to happen? Or
Well, I don't know. I just enjoy the game for the mere fact that it's there, that they gave us the opportunity to play America's favorite pastime. The changes in the rules going from 90 feet to 100 feet, that doesn't really affect the game. It just makes you have to be a better athlete. I think the idea of just going from, because back in my day they had 5 strikes and 2 balls. You got a chance to take 2 pitches. So that, the best thing I would have to say is by changing that to 4-1, that helped to speed up the game. And I believe maybe sometime in the future, if they even change that to maybe just 3 strikes or what have you, would speed up the game. It is an element that could speed up the game simply because it gives, like I mentioned before, you got a pitcher that's on your team and you guys have an opportunity to work throughout the season to get consistent. And he's pitching it in there and you're trying to hit, and to create that consistency would definitely speed up the game and therefore give a lot of people a chance to be able to play at a high level. But I know the reason why they keep it at 4-1 is because a lot of people aren't that proficient at being able to do that, and they want to give them every opportunity to be able to hit the ball, and there's hence the opportunity to take a pitch. So I would have to say the change speeds up the game. It helped.
That's some insightful stuff from someone who's been doing this for a long time. So you could speak to pre-adjustment to post-adjustment. So I can't imagine 5 strikes and 2 balls, but you.
Oh yeah, those games used to take forever. And they were high-scoring games because the base was only 90 feet away.
Who's since you've been with the Bayou City Heat, who's made the biggest leap? The one as far as a player or even a coach that you're most impressed with as far as their game goes? I'm not, we're just talking on the field here.
I would say Ja'Cory probably, only because he's, made tremendous strides. Definitely defensively, being able to get to the ball. And, of course, he's still growing in that area. But I've seen him grow from where he was, because initially when I got there, he really struggled defensively. So to be able to see him get to a point where he's able to get to the ball proficiently, and that's going to grow on him being able to get to the ball and be ready to catch the ball more proficiently. It'll make a big difference in his career. But the growth that he's had from where he was to where he is now, is tremendous. And, of course, it adds something for the Heat insofar as being able to become a stronger team defensively, because actually before I got with the Heat, they were not known as a defensive team at all. So seeing the team overall grow a little bit more from a defensive standpoint has made a big difference, and that's definitely what we're going to need if we expect to win a championship.
Hey, I hope we're listening. I'm listening. I hope the team's listening, because that's that's what we need to do. I mean, if you see, if that's what you've seen as the progression, and you think that just a little bit more of an improvement in that area can help us get to where we want to be, I'm gonna listen to that. You know what I mean? And I know they will too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, defense wins championship.
I know it, man. And speaking of championships, I'm going to end on this note, because I know you're a big sports guy just like me, and we were going to get out of here in time to watch, to tune into some football, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me some predictions and some scores if you dare.
Oh, okay. I believe the New England Patriots will actually win today 31-17.
Okay.
And of course, this one is just because I really want to see it happen, because it's never happened before. I like to see the Minnesota Vikings actually beat Philadelphia with a final score of, we'll go 24-17.
All right, you're on the record.
All right, let's see what happens, though. Because the reason I want to see that is I want to see Minnesota play in Minnesota for the Super Bowl. That'll be the first time something like that happened, and it will be unique, and it will be something great to see.
Absolutely. Do me a favor. I want you to talk to me. Let us know. So you have a website for Magnet Ideas?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, the name of my company is Magnet Ideas. People can go to mymagnetideas.com. And, of course, all I'm out here to do is build life winners and help people to achieve goals on a high level. I recently completed a book called Real Vision, Your Blueprint to Winning in Life. And you can pick that up at Amazon. It's right now an ebook, but I'm planning to come out with the print edition and an audio edition in the next couple months.
Okay, okay, say that one more time. mymagnetideas.com.
That's the website.
That's the
name
website.
Of the book is called. The title of the book is Real Vision: Your Blueprint to Winning in Life.
All right, and you can find it at Amazon as an ebook for now.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that is some huge stuff. We got a lot of authors, a lot of speakers. I mean, just the most diverse group of people on our team, man. That is some cool stuff. So mymagnetideas.com, Real Vision, Your Blueprint to Winning at Life on Amazon. And watch out for us. I know we got a casino night coming up on March 3rd that I doubt, I know I won't be making. I don't know if El Darnell will be making, but that is going to be in the Houston area. El Darnell, do you have any final words before we wrap this episode up?
Well, I would just like to see us get focused and put ourselves in a position to win a championship, so that next year we'll be able to share what it's like to win on the Heat Index.
Oh, that'll get me some listens. Get us some listens, I should say.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, man, you did remain patient with me, which I really appreciate. But more importantly, you shared a lot of insight here, and I think there's going to be a lot of stuff people can take and value, because I know I have just in this this hour of talking with you. We're going to do it again. For now, I'm going to get everyone's story, and then after that, we'll have some recurring guests, and we'll do it hopefully on a regular basis. I got some big ideas for the season, but most importantly, I just want to have fun. I want to enjoy my time with you guys because you're my teammates on the field, off the field. You're my teammates, but you're my friends too, and that's what's cool to me. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming on. And
thank you. Sounds great.
By all means, man. My name is Timothy Cyphers. This has been L. Darnell Williams, and this has been The Heat Index. Please check us out next time. Go to Apple Podcasts, search for The Heat Index, or go to theheatindex.buzzsprout.com and give all the previous episodes and this episode for sure a listen, because it's all good stuff. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.